I did it, yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just to flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked, can I? Before I went live, ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Wait, need a light here just to catch my buzz. Need a Sprite here just to catch my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about love. Honestly, they ain't never seen too much. What's love to a guy with a bag? What's heart to a guy with some cash? What's pain to a guy that's mad? Said. What's broke to a guy with a mask? What's both to a guy with a plan? I just wanna kick it, that's all I ask. Like, let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on.
Today on EA Sports, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Tennessee Titans taking on the Miami Dolphins.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. He's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
The ball carried by the wide receiver.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. The throw over the middle, taken in, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. Raymond, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
He's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third down, Raymond. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 6 catches, 69 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
On first down, Raymond. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Another carry for the running back. He's taken down at the...
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
4-yard line.
On second down now, Raymond. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So here are the Dolphins now getting set for their initial possession. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Just 4 weeks left in the regular season, and he has to be firmly in the driver's seat for the MVP award.
Yeah, as the month of December wears on, we'll see how this all shakes out, and the debate will certainly heat up. But he's done everything they've asked of him.
Wouldn't you love to be in his head right now, though, to see what he's thinking, how much this is affecting him? Is he thinking about it at all? Are his teammates talking to him about it? He's dealing with a little bit of pressure, though, even though he's right now the #1 guy.
2 yards on the...
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 60 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was
is always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Byrne. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
The kick is good.
And he knocks it through. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Taken in the end zone.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 20.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense a good chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Seven, our score after 1.
The score tied 7-7.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just inside the 30. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive, and now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 more on that one and another first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Right back to him on first down. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
What's the deal, guys?
In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Off-play action. Byrne. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
To number 88.
A 20-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out come the Titans now. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They'll run on first down. Raymond. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He's tackled.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier to shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
And he will have the Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Give them 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On first down, Raymond. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Titans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Harris has it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
Complete.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll go down at the 28. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
8-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
The tackle made.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On 2nd down, Raymond. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
Ball carrier.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
A gain of 3.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this lines up a disaster nowhere near the marker. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
34-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Clock keeps moving.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Here's for the caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he might be number 2 for you.
That's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
To throw on second down. Byrne. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne and try to knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
At the 3-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll kick things off in the NFC when the Giants have traveled down south to take on Atlanta. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. The Giants seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. The Colts locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. The Saints trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking to throw on second down. Byrne. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
On third down, Byrne. Over the middle, complete. That's Dean. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
To number 89.
A big play there for the Dolphins. 58 yards. Pretty good yards after the catch there on that crossing route. Is a crossing route good for a quarterback because the receiver's coming across his line of vision?
They love those kind of throws. And how many times have you seen any of what we call an in-breaking route? The quarterback really turns it loose, doesn't he? Has a lot more confidence because he can see the play right in front of him.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
At the 2-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the 3rd. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this quarter?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see the points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would get to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
First down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down now, Raymond. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First down.
Throwing on first down. Byrne. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
On the give, this is their fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a pickup at 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
To throw on 2nd down. Byrne. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They have certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there, because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
14.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Taken down right.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter...
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, the playoffs will begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Well, they've held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A gain of 6 there on first.
2nd and 4.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Escape, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Turn. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
To number 37.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Off the bootleg. Byrne. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
37.
That'll go as a pickup of 8.
First down, Miami.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13.
Dolphins 34.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points, so that's not mission accomplished. It's darn close.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Today's final score.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Miami, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Titans, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale.
Again and I
picking. Snakes out, they hissing, but I can't hear when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose. When I only want the hunters with the blues in the in blood across it where the blood thinner. Just stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter. What we dreaming till the dream is bigger. Only want the gold. We don't need the silver. Gotta be number one. Number two never count. Used to have bubble guts. Making my babies proud, wanna call my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah, I buy like 20. Won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Come for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Reaching my goals, I do not feel ashamed. I'm a dog, I'm a beast, and I cannot be tamed. I don't do it for fame, it's the love for the game. I go in like I'm trained. I'm prepared for the rain, they amazed. I ain't break from the sticks and stones they threw. Anything that you can do, I can do it better than you. No matter what I do, achieve, still got something to prove. I spent the check on the diamond cross, but still ain't paid my dues. Gotta be number one, number two never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna call my mama